Hi, I'm Trey.
And I'm Desiree.
And we're both cosplayers. For those of you that don't know, cosplaying is when people dress up as their favorite characters from movies or television shows.
Video games, comic books, anything really.
And you'll see them at comic conventions like San Diego Comic-Con. We've been in the cosplay scene for quite a few years now. It's been a growing trend.
Yeah, quite a few years.
Yeah, and over that time we've made well over 50 costumes at this point.
Accumulated. Today we're going to give you some of our own personal tips that we've learned in our years of making costumes that are going to, in the long run, make your costume a lot easier and more cost-effective.
So tip number 1 is how to distress clothing if you're going to be like a zombie or a werewolf or anything along those lines where you need your clothes just thrashed. Sandpaper of varying grits tends to work really well. You can get a rougher grit, which will tear clothes nicely and start a nice big, gaping hole.
Basically. You can actually sometimes make a cut and then wear away at that with the sandpaper.
Also, running your car over clothes a couple times does work. It's a lot of fun.
In addition to distressing your costume with sandpaper, you also want to dirty it up and give it kind of a grimy look if you're going for that zombie kind of costume or anything that's been out and about. Grounds, tea bags, you can rub the grounds on any of the clothes or whatever props you may take with you, like a severed head. You can take your clothing and rub it on your tire rims to clean them, and that honestly stays on there. It looks like grease, grime.
WD-40 on clothes will also look like sweat stains, fresh sweat stains.
Yeah. Tip number 2 is to plan your costume around Halloween night. Plan for your climate and where you're going to be for the night, and if you're going multiple places, think about how your costume will fare. Be aware of your size and any external bits if you've got, I don't know, spikes or wings or anything like that. Make sure you have a pocket somewhere on your costume. You can store your phone, your ID, your money, your credit cards, anything like that.
So tip number 3 is about using the correct kind of blood and the correct color blood. For any cheap blood you find out there, it's going to be very sticky. You don't want that in your hair, and you're not really going to be able to sit anywhere.
And it's not going to give you the right effect on your clothing that you think it will. If you're going to splatter some of the cheaper blood on your clothes, especially on a white t-shirt, it's just going to come out as this kind of gross red mark.
Yeah. And if you want to paint blood on clothes, depending on how old the wound is or how old the blood is, you want to go with a nice regular, just like a red color. Add a little bit of blue and a little bit of yellow to it. That way you can kind of get a nice, more natural color to your blood.
Tip number 4 is to use old clothes. Old clothing is absolutely fantastic. You'd be surprised what an old dress or an old t-shirt, pair of pants in your closet can become.
And tip number 5 is the simplest tip I can give, yet the one that I think most people tend to forget is just give yourself plenty of time to work on this costume. Next, we want to go over a couple mistakes people tend to make during the Halloween season, either because they're too busy and trying to rush a costume, or you just get so excited.
Or you're trying to cut $1 out of your budget.
Ooh, yeah.
One common mistake that people make when they go to create a Halloween costume is they get to the final step of makeup, if you've got prosthetics or anything, and the standard tube makeup you can get from Party City, it will do the job, but you have to be wary.
And even Halloween stores are stepping up their game, and you're going to see a little bit better quality there. You also want to make sure to be careful of any allergies. So if you've got a latex allergy, don't use any liquid latex. Don't put a latex appliance on.
Even if you aren't actively aware of an allergy you may have, always test your makeup on like the inside of anywhere sensitive, inside of your wrist, your elbow. And see if you have any kind of reaction before you go and slather your whole face in it, because you don't want a whole rash all over your face.
One of the best places to find parts for your Halloween costume for cheap is going to be a thrift store.
Absolutely.
You can find shirts and pants that, for $1, $2 or less.
Jackets, vests, everything.
Well, that's all the tips that we have for you today.
We hope that we were able to help you make your costumes, or give you ideas for making your costumes a little cheaper and easier.
And we hope that you have a really safe Halloween season.
Happy Halloween!